probably taste the same, no?
Let's find out.
The only toilet in the entire row.
This is what you come to expect.
You got transmission fluid in there?
Oh,
why? So is this all new?
We probably shouldn't stay in here for too long, honestly. Racing.
Roof gone. Ceiling tile. Sierra mist. Date is
November 3rd of 2019.
This bike, stop it!
Oh my fuck! I thought that I could, I don't know.
We officially bought Mansfield Speedway. This place has changed a ton since its heyday in the early 2000s. So let's go explore it a little bit for our new property. So the cool thing is that ticket booth up there, when you look down to the concrete, the entire concourse here, I mean, yeah, there's some stuff that's been knocked down, but this is in really good shape. So where our cars are parked right there, we're actually going to do a beer garden, very much like a minor league baseball team. I think it was Milwaukee who did it with storage containers. So we're going to do a full picnic area. We'll lay down some gravel and put some turf down to get it above these posts where they had the grandstands in. So that'll be a cool hangout watching area. We'll do something similar on the other side. But we really want to transform the space into the 21st century where you can come out, have a good time with your family, with your buddies, grab a beer, watch the race. So yeah, we're gonna do some pretty neat upgrades to this thing. As you can see, with all the space back here, we can do car shows, food truck nights, fireworks shows over here. I mean, really the options are limitless. We can do anything on this concourse, which is really cool. It's a very unique property, and that's why I love this. I said I would never buy a racetrack, but this place is so much more than that because of the grounds that it has, because of the infrastructure that was built, 20 some years ago. So that makes it super cool to just explore what we can do with it. Or as you can see, there used to be the concrete pit road down there. The concrete is still all intact, but they basically the property, they had a factory coming in to turn this all into industrial land. And before the deal got signed, they brought in a bulldozer and just started knocking everything down. So this side of turns 3 and 4, it's just really sad what they did to this property. There's areas of it that are still in really good shape, but this area is in absolutely horrible shape. I mean, there's no way you could run a race on it right now. So we're gonna have to put some of the walls back and just reconfigure what we got going on. I know a lot of people are gonna ask this question of if this track is going back to dirt or asphalt, so just get ahead of that. It's gonna cost about $2.5 million to put this back to asphalt just for the paving itself. So for the first few years, it is gonna be dirt. We're hoping that we're gonna be in a good cash flow position to maybe look at doing asphalt in the future. But for right now, we're planning to, bring this back as a dirt racetrack, bring new clay out here because obviously we won the reputation of the track before, but you can see there's so many rocks in this thing. So it would not be safe for drivers or fans. But let's go take a walk down here and see where the cars used to enter the racetrack. Obviously, the walls are taken down. This track used to have safer barriers. That's all down. Its fences are gone. The light poles are gone. I mean, this place has been absolutely stripped. I mean, it was one of the nicest facilities for a short track in the entire country. And to be honest with you right now, it's kind of a shithole. So we're going to work on making it a whole lot nicer again. Let's do a little story time of what actually happened here at the Mansfield Speedway. So the Mansfield Speedway, as people know, in NASCAR was built in 2002. Started operations really in 2003 before they got the Truck Series and stuff coming here a few years later. Mike Drizilla was the owner of it, and essentially at the end of it, they had Truck Series Day that came every year. They had the Hooters Pro Cup. They had all kinds of modified races, all kinds of stuff like that. So they had a lot of racing continually here. But the issue that they ran into was the fact that this stuff costs a lot of money. They put $17 million into this. There were plans for expansions for a quarter-mile drag strip. There was an exposition center. There's all this stuff. And then 2008 hit with the economic crisis. And so that essentially shut it down. from that standpoint. The track was reopened, I believe, in 2013 under another name, the Spitzer Motor Speedway, from the Spitzer car dealership around here. It ran for a few years and then shut down again. And then finally it reopened under Cody Summers, who was the one who turned this asphalt track into a dirt track. I'll be honest with you, we kind of hoped that he just put dirt on the asphalt track, but they actually chopped up and milled all the asphalt, which is sitting in a big pile over yonder. But when he had the track, they ran it for 3 years. They had the Dirt Million, the Sprint Car World Championships here, a lot of big races, but they had a lot of weather issues. They also only ran 5 or 6 events a year, and I can tell you already, looking at the numbers here, we'll probably have 20 to 25 events a year. It's just really hard in the Midwest, where you have rain, where you have, sanctioned events that have to be stuck to one date with no rain out date for it. You can lose your business very, very quickly. So we're trying to build this to be diversified between car cultures and other things we're doing. We'll talk about that more in the future about what we're doing here for racing too. This place essentially over 3 or 4 different ownerships in the 2000s has been mismanaged. It's not made money, and ultimately just kind of a weird approaches that have gone on with it. But the economic downturn in 08 was kind of the nail in the coffin for the original vision of what this track was supposed to be. Right now you pretty much need a tetanus shot to get around here. You can see there's a bunch of the mesh fencing. This wasn't for the catch fence. This was actually for, there was fan seating on these hills here. So you can see one of the stakes right there behind us. So they put this up for protection. There's wires everywhere. There's PA speakers. There's cones. There's brackets and all kinds of stuff. You can see here when they took the dozer to some of this asphalt. I mean, this is just for a pit access lane. Like, they had nice, oh, my shoe's untied. They had nice paving around the entire property here. Like every turn 4 exit, here's a Pepsi plastic container because that's supposed to be there. The biggest problem of what happened to it was when they knocked this wall down, the drainage just came, like basically had a drainage barrier because the wall made everything go to crap. What we're standing on here under all these layers of just runoff dirt, this was the NASCAR pit road. So this was the concrete pit road. All the pit stalls were in here. And the concrete is actually surprisingly still in good shape underneath this. But as you can see, they knocked down all the walls here that were on the outside part of this. Again, it's just a mess. So the pit road was concrete. The inner area here was all asphalt. So our plan here is to come and take out all this rubble, put a wall that goes continuously around the outside of the concrete area to keep it from the dirt seeping into it, and make it to where we have a racing school on the inside part of the track. But then also we're going to have drifting events, a burnout pit over here once we reseal the asphalt inside of here. So this is all going to be a very, very cool interior area. We'll have it ready to where people can come down for concerts. First off, it's just sad what they did to this place. I don't know.
They chopped off sides of the grandstands. The former owner donated those to a local high school, which is super cool, but we obviously have reduced seating capacity now. We'll check it out later, but if you walk to the side of the grandstands, it's essentially a death walk right now. So we'll have a bleacher company come out. Ugh, this is really muddy.
Oh, no. We walked right into that.
We're gonna have a bleacher company seal this off for safety because it's pretty dangerous right now. But oh my fuck!
Why did you walk into it?
I
was there.
I thought I thought that I could. I don't know how I could get around this.
Bruh.
I'm not Christopher Columbus, okay? I don't know how I'm supposed to navigate this. I need some like Yeehaw girl boots or something. But what's left of the grandstands is in really good shape. The suites, can't say the same for that.
Nope.
Those are a little spooky. Like.
So as we explore this property, this is probably the coolest and creepiest part of this whole place, because this was our concession stand back then, or the other owners. And the last race was run in 2019. And you will see things in here that it just looks like they packed up and left and never came back.
Honestly, they're quite fair for today's standards, but It kind of reminds me, I don't know, for pizza, it depends on if there's like a lot of slices. Right. I think if it's just one slice for $4, I think they're tripping. But I don't know, a full pizza for $4, if that's what it was, then that's great.
Droppings over there, but here's where you pick out your bottle of Pepsi here. You get a Mountain Dew, a Bud Light. This is what always stuck out to me as the creepiest thing. Look at all the bottles here. We got Bud Light cans. We got brand new Sierra Mist cans. What is this? Sierra Mist.
What's the expiration date? November 3rd of 2019.
That's not horrible.
Oh, you put your mouth directly on it.
Why did you swallow that? It tastes like that one they made you do for your glucose test when you were pregnant.
No way.
Mother load.
What do we got?
Those will probably taste the same now.
Let's find out. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Oh, God. That's something wrong with that. Something. Oh, yeah. That was very pungent.
Stop.
Drink room.
If you want, you can use style.
Wild raccoons and
Waffle fries, nacho and cheese, pepper jack. Marinara sauce.
Still live?
No.
Darn. I personally like my marinara with a side of drywall. So this is like the old wraps and stuff they had here. So monster trucks, which they had a few monster truck events, sprint cars, dirt late models. So yeah, when it was Mansfield Motor Speedway last, they obviously did all the dirt conversions for it. So brought a bunch of cool events here. Roof gone, ceiling tile gone out.
Bruh, how?
No bueno.
So this was all pit road.
So this was like where all the sponsor banners were and everything on the other side of these.
Yeah, so if you want to sponsor the track in its current condition, we can cut you a deal.
Right now, no racing, about $10.
I think we're going to start selling some jars of dirt for you guys so you can be
Jack Sparrow, a jar of dirt.
really a part of the process. Approaching the start-finish line, you can see some of the electrical connections here, likely used for timing and whatnot. Good look right now. And this.
There was something here once. So we're walking down to turns 1 and 2, and there's a gigantic difference from the start-finish line, middle of the straightaways, to turns 1 and 2 because they didn't take a freaking bulldozer to it. So this area, as you can see with the concrete and everything, way less drainage into here, a lot better shape. So this side we'll have to regrade it and everything. You can see down to the center here. So in the middle of these grass fields, they had light poles down here. There's a well on the other side for the water truck. The whole asphalt pad here, it's not quite level. There's a couple dips in here, so we'll have to work on getting everything level. This will be our giant burnout pit. We might do defensive driving schools in here, drifting things, car shows, whatever. So that's gonna be the main spot for the action. Bones of it are pretty good.
There's chunks of old safer barrier there.
Some deer tracks or something. Big bird, I don't know. All the lights here, I think they also sold the Nelson's Ledges. The catch fence went to, and the timing and scoring system went to Attica down the road, the dirt track there. Somebody's sitting on the tractor tire, drinking a Mick Ultra. Again, same story down here. Has been abandoned for a while, but this side's not nearly as in bad a shape. Dozer or skid steer out here and skim everything off and bring in some new clay eventually. The original asphalt track was 12 degrees of banking. I think they put it to 18 for the dirt track, but now I have no idea. I mean, it's been run over by so much heavy equipment and everything. We'll talk about what we want to do for banking. I'm thinking about 20 degrees. Eldora's 24 would give something. I'd like to have it be progressively banked, but we'll just see what makes sense the most when we bring in some stuff for it. More big old tractor tires. Yeah, let us know what kind of banking you want to see here. It can be different. We got 2 different sides, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. They had one consistent bank the entire way before, but we're going to keep it here because it's kind of cool. But we are planning on putting right where that Mansfield Raceway sign was and that building on the back there. We are planning on something very exciting, which will be a big jumbotron and scoreboard. So giant replay board, bringing this thing into the 21st century. We're also going to have about 5 light poles around the whole track, and we'll be doing the RGB LED light changing poles as well. This was the entry to the backstretch pit area. You come down after your qualifying lap or come into pit for a green flag stop, and this would probably be your entry zone. Some people use water, some use sand, but that was there to protect people from hitting the wall. The one big project we have, all the inside walls will come out. That way we have a huge area for car shows, drifting events, burnouts, concerts, whatever. But these tall ones will remain, and we'll extend them down a little bit on both sides. So this was the pit concession stand. It's a little creepy now. Got a lot of ceiling tiles that have come in, the insulation on the floor. Have the grill, girdles, and all kinds of stuff back here, but some of it's gone, some of it's here. So keep your hot dogs and such back there, if you will, in here, but
Yeah.
just left for dead.
Out of all of the bathrooms.
Smells horrible.
So when this thing's back, bring your lawn chair over here and crack a cold one and watch some racing. The last time I was here, I got a tick, so I feel this bite. Stop it! More of it. Leon, you want some? Come home with a souvenir. This down here, we got some, I think this is part of the rail. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, this is part of the conduit, some stuff that ran through.
So hopefully that didn't cut off, because I think that was like part of the timing system.
It was,
potentially.
yep. Yep, they're gonna have to rerun all that before they put the walls back up. Haphazardly did it.
Everything was happening.
Back to this thing, so this was the mesh fence that kept the people here in their lawn chairs from hopping on race cars and maybe starting a fight or having too much access to the cars. So yes, we got lots of picnic tables here, no food, so no point to use it. What we got over here. Look at that. Grandstands, cars. Grandstand.
Vehicles.
One more time for your car.
Vehicles.
Actually, you know what, Leon?
In existence.
The Chevy Tahoe.
Chevy Tahoe.
All right, here's our grandstand. See, you don't even need the grandstand. You just come down here and you sit in these. Definitely ADA compliant right here. Sideways trash can for sideways trash can things. We got some lights, some red and blue lights. Get your groove on out here. Clearly. There's some more fencing. That would be the rails for the side. I don't know what that noise is.
Generator. So we thought there was a generator broken, but now it's gonna stop, huh? We started up the bleacher generator. Yeah.
That wouldn't make sense if there's a generator going.
Matthew Tifft exploding abandoned racetrack.
That I bought. Sadly, I can't fit on here because it's 1,100 pound max thing, but yep, push it. Push it real good.
Bird shit on
Adds character. So I do want to make one thing abundantly clear about why this all happened. So I had, the race team and everything we were doing there from the dirt racing side and asphalt racing side. And I just wanted a property when we moved up here to Cleveland to go mess around, drive side-by-sides on, kind of do our own little deal with it, really, of whatever content we wanted to. And so I was looking at properties, and every time I'd look at it, we'd run into zoning issues, and I got really pissed off about it one day. I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to go buy a racetrack. So the thing I want to make abundantly clear was this track was not for sale. It was not listed. We knew it had been kind of sitting for a long time. Please excuse the banging tin roof here over the old suites here on the backstretch. All right, now that we're past a little bit of the clanking. So the track was not for sale. So we initially talked to the Mill Irons about this, and they were very, very protective about, their legacy, their name, and selling this to somebody. And, we did a lot, and I mean a lot of work behind the scenes of putting together a plan, what this might look like, and we'll share more of that in the vision we have here as we go along. But, they believed in what we had to kind of transform this property, and, we're very excited to work on that vision and that dream. But it's just been cool to work with somebody on this who wants to see it come back. They were real estate investors and industrial developers, but they wanted to see this come back as a racetrack for the community. And that's not something done very often anymore. A lot of people just want the quick money on it, but they wanted people to come in and give back to the community and have a place to make more memories, and we're gonna go make sure we deliver on that. So after it closed down, though, before they started reopening for racing, Grant Milliron of Milliron Industries here in Mansfield bought the property at auction for, I believe, $800,000. So, you know, when that happened, they had no interest in operating the racetrack. They were, you know, they operated industrial and real estate businesses, but were not in the entertainment and racing business. So when they operated it, they had the promoter come and run it as the asphalt track in 2013. And then ultimately when Cody Summers had it in 2017, he had an option to extend the lease or buy it at the end of his 3-year term. Decided not to. Obviously COVID came after that. But Carl Milliron was the person who did a lot of the deal with us, and Carl was great. You know, his dad Grant passed away a few years ago, so we're extremely gracious for all the help that the Milliron family has given us, for what they've done. Obviously, in the community, they've done tons of work, and you know, we teased this a few months ago, just coming to here, and I don't know why it's May, but I'm still in the same freaking coat I was in March when we came there first time. But you know, even when we teased it back then, it was still really cool to see the outreach from people who have raced here, who have, you know, been to tracks or been to races with their dad here, just all the memories that came flooding back. So we're really excited to bring this back for more memories and more gatherings for families in the future, and it's just, you know, really exciting for us to continue on the legacy in a new chapter for this place.
All right, guys, if you've liked what we've seen so far, you want to see more of the property, the grandstands, make sure you subscribe and check out part 2 of exploring our abandoned racetrack that we are bringing back. On the Mansfield Speedway merch drop is here. Make sure you check out the link in the bio to go rep your gear. All of the sales go to repairing this racetrack, so we can't wait to see you wearing your gear and repping our Mansfield Speedway merch out there.